Welcome back to Ender Academy. It's been a while, and seeing as it's been so long, I thought a great way to get back into things would be by taking a tour of the Enclave to see everything that we've built so far, look over everything that's changed since last episode, and see what we have yet to build in this little valley that we have decided to call home. And to help me do this, I'm going to be using two fantastic mods known as Camera Studio and Machinima that allow me to take these cool cinematic panning shots because, you know, I like me some cinematic panning shots. This enclave is where we have studied all forms of magic and ancient lore thus far, and that knowledge is going to continue to expand. We're also going to move forwards into the industrial age though and start getting steam age technologies very soon, and there's still a lot more secrets left untapped for us to uncover. I am most excited to begin once more. So, without further ado, let's get into the tour. Here we are, Vigil and I. Vigil, you are looking a little bit gaunt. Let me take a closer look at you. Wow. Yep, that is a lot of ribcage showing. All right, we'll be covering a lot of stuff this episode, so I'm going to be skipping around a lot, occasionally skipping some things to move on to other things. So just bear with me for a moment. All right, so we'll start, why not, at the beginning. And I might as well show off these cool boots that I made while I go over there. These gliding boots of glidiness. What are they actually called? Slowfall boots. Yes, they're just normal Thaumaturge mage boots that I've given slowfall. The particle effects are turned off, but if they were turned on, you'd see all these wonderful little clouds appearing under my feet. So, here is the end of our road. For those of you who have been watching for a while, you'll know that in episode 10 we moved into a new world, tore our entire enclave out. Oh, hello creeper. Nope. I am terrible at hitting creepers in third person mode. Let's go back into first person mode. So anyway, in episode 10 we tore our entire enclave out of the ground and transplanted it into this new world for various buggy reasons, and we have yet to repair the road leading up to our enclave, so that's why this is all so massively broken. Over here we've got our nether portal. Absolutely nothing interesting happening in there. You know, I mined some stuff tried to blow me up, nothing else interesting happened. We might as well start here on the entry road. This entry road takes us into the main part of the enclave. You'll see those little speed boost things there and the little paving stones of warding to keep monsters out. Now here is the main bottom floor of the enclave. It is completely overgrown and lovely. There's trees and vines everywhere and just a few buildings on the ground floor. There's eventually going to be more. Now, a lot of these buildings are not particularly interesting, and they're the ones we're going to be covering first, so I'll try to be really quick about covering those ones first. So without further ado, Emaciated Vigil, we need to get you some food, man. This is a real problem. You're looking really weak. Alright, let's go inside. This was our original home in the very first episode. We have just turned it into this painting-filled storage room, essentially. We've got a bunch of stuff. I think I keep my diamonds and emeralds and stuff in here. We've also got a mine shaft that leads down to nowhere. I might seal this entire mine shaft up, though, because I hardly ever use it. And this room is basically a glorified storage room that I should really move my stuff out of. Uninteresting. Over here, we've got our forge room. Also, basically uninteresting. I'm sorry, this isn't a forge room. This is a smeltery room. I have not recorded one of these episodes in quite a while, so I'm feeling particularly daft today. So please apologize any slippages of my speech, word talkages. Anyway, more storage, arcane levitator leading up there, that's new, but we'll get to that room in a bit. So, basically uninteresting. And for the most uninteresting room of the day, that award goes to this room, which is brand new. I've just been working on it recently, and I thought it would be my blast furnace room, but it turns out blast furnaces, oh man, blast furnaces, they're so inefficient for making steel. I was trying to come up with a good way of making steel, but I couldn't, so I don't know. We'll tear out that blast furnace and replace it with a better steel makeage thing later. Now, on to the interesting building, starting with the real forge. This is the smeltery, built with Tinker's Construct. I think I built this in episode 7 maybe? I can't remember. I'm not going to remember the specific episode numbers of these. Who am I kidding? But anyway, this room is where we smelt all of our ores. We forge our weapons, including the Quartz Tiger, which is our prized sword. We've also made a bunch of other tools in this forge. We've put an infernal furnace in just for the laugh. We hardly ever cook anything in there though. And other than that, there's nothing much going on in this room. Eventually, I would like to knock out this entire wall and expand it outwards into the mountain to be able to include more stuff in there. And let's see, oh, over here, we've got Victor in a jar. Hey Victor, how's it going? Got any XP for me? No. This is the guy that I made to eat all the XP that this little Blazikins gives me. Is that a Pokemon name? Is Victor a Pokemon name? You look like a 12 billionth generation Pokemon, so I wouldn't be surprised. Whoa. Eerie. Is 12 billionth generation of Pokemon actually a thing? We may never know. Anyway, that is essentially the ground floor. Our smeltery, I really like that building. We still haven't actually completed the forge, even though it is really tall right now. It could be a bit taller, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. Now we're going to go up an arcane levitator. We have one there, but I'm going to use the first one that we built over here to get to the first bridge of the Enclave village weird thing. Final and interesting room. Just a room full of chests. I built this. I never put anything in these chests. Why did I do that? I don't know anymore. Let's look at this more interesting room. Over here, we have the armory, where we store a heck of a lot of armor. Now, as you can see, with the newly updated texture pack, we have changed over almost entirely to the Wayukian resource pack. I think that's how you pronounce it. Wayukian, I don't know. But anyway, one of the quirks of that texture pack is that all of these suits of armor are actually twice the resolution of normal armor, even though the default blocks are not double the resolution. So the vanilla armor looks really nice, but then the mod armor in comparison looks less nice. So I guess I'll need to create texture patches for all those armors. Oh my, that is going to be a bother, isn't it? Anyway, that's essentially everything on this level. We could go down to that pathway, which is also where that arcane levitator would have led, but there's two other ways of accessing that. We could also go up our express elevator, but no, we'll go up here. Ender Academy has routes upon routes leading everywhere, and oh my, it is nighttime. I'm going to get a decent night's sleep for once in my home. We'll continue this tomorrow. Well, anyway, this part isn't being shown in the tour yet. First, I would like to show you, what would I like to show you? The library. This is the library, capable of storing over 1.8 thousand books, i.e. more books than I would ever be able to get. Even though I have the Lost Books mod installed, so I've just got oh, where are my goggles? There we go. Now we can see the titles of all these books. 1,000,000 billion. Was there a book called The Man? The Man. This bookshelf is just being kept down by The Man. Wow. All my books go in here. I'm probably going to knock out a bunch of these bookshelves, put in like reading alcoves. I'm sure you're all very interested to hear about my library plans, except that was actually sarcasm. Here's my alchemy lab. Now, the alchemy lab may look pretty sparse. It looks like there's some stuff missing. Well, that's just because I have slightly moved it. My crucible's still sitting here, barely ever used because I'm not much of an alchemist. But under here, ooh, what's that? This glass floor leads down into the new alchemy lab, where I've rigged up all these pipes. I have the centrifuge, I have all the alembics and the furnaces, these little twisty knobs. And what do all these pipes lead to? Well, they lead to a really big setup of pipes that link up to labeled jars filled with a lot of different types of essentia. Except the thing is, I didn't actually count how many types of Essentia there were before I planned out where I was going to build this building, so I don't actually have enough space to store all of the Essentia. I'm getting really close to the microphone and whispering. And in case you're wondering where this thing goes, this is where it goes, on top of this building, which is our smeltery forge secondary building. That's where this is, and you can get up there from here, down there from there, and if we want to go back up, there's an arcane levitator right here. 4 points of access. Why does it need that many points of access? I don't know. I like putting points of access. So yeah, I might have completely screwed up all those pipes down there. I noticed that they were leaking. I think you can see that. A bunch of the pipes are leaking. Essences, essentias into the air. Look at this. Such a travesty. We're leaking corpus into the air. That's disgusting. I don't want to be breathing that. Oh, let's get out of here. But yeah, I'm not much of an alchemist, so mostly I just ignore all that stuff for later. Over here, we have our Mistcraft pages room, which is pretty sparse so far. We've only collected a few pages from random dungeon chests, but we're going to be getting a heck of a lot more of those. We have not gotten into Mistcraft yet. Poisonous potato and a random hungry chest. That clearly was intentional. There's cosmic significance to that poisonous potato and that hungry chest, so I will not tamper with cosmic significance. Over here we have our farm. Normally this is run by golems named Wallace and Cindy Mayweather, but Cindy Mayweather has been revolting, and I mean that she has been, like, you know, not revolting in the disgusting sense, but she has been taking up arms against my mod pack. She keeps crashing the server every single time she breaks these reads. I don't know why she does that. So her and her conspirator Wallace, with his classy glasses, are just sitting in that chest thinking about what they've done. Meanwhile, all my crops have grown, and I don't really need them because, you know, the golems were so efficient. They harvested a million bazillion things in here. So anyway, that is the actual final uninteresting place. I keep saying I've run out of uninteresting places, but you know me, I am just the master of creating uninteresting places. Now, before we go up there, I'd first like to show you my research station. This here is my research alcove where I do, funnily enough, research. Arcane research. I do a lot of arcane crafting, I do a lot of disenchanting, I shoot the wall with lightning for no reason, and all that good stuff. I also store some random stuff in there, but you know how it is. And then over here, if I can jump through the door with my sword, which I can't, is my lovely home. It is quite a nice little place to live, and probably the first striking thing that you will notice about it is the fact that there's 4 skulls sitting around. But don't worry, these skulls are fully fledged members of the Academy. This here is Yorick, our first recruit. This here is Tim Roth. This is Gary Oldman. And this is our newest member, Ophelia. Say hello, Ophelia. How are you 4 doing? Yep. Still dead. Yep, that's what I thought. Good. I'm not a fan of necromancy, so if any of you come to life, you know, that'll be a problem. Although Victor, I guess, is necromantic in origin. Necromantic? That's not a word. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and also, I know that Tim Roth and Gary Oldman are still alive in real life. It's a joke based off of the film Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, where they played the characters. It's a joke. It's Shakespeare. You know, if either of these guys passed away in real life, that joke would be in really poor taste. Man, I hadn't thought of that. Well, no matter. Over here, we have our painting depicting something all too common, Enderman classism. Don't worry, little guy without a block. You're special on the inside. You can be whatever you want to be. Heck, you could even become a thaumaturge. I believe in you. Anyway, and then we've got a lovely view of the jungle/enchanted forest where it crosses over. We have a balcony to go on. Ooh, I don't think I've shown this off. This is my Thaumic Maneuver gear. I'm just going to switch over into my Thaumic Maneuver gear just to really quickly show you what this can do on the balcony. This is nice. Let's just jump over this railing so we can get some good altitude here and go into third person. That was a single jump. In one jump with Ascent Boost 4 on these leggings, I can jump up an entire tree. Then I have Slow Fall on the Boots of Haste, although for some reason it's not as effective as my Thaumaturge Mage Boots are. But anyway, and then obviously I've got my Thaumostatic Harness, just in case. And then Vigil can teleport me, because that's what Vigil does. He teleports me. Good old Vigil. But anyway, we don't want to be using that right now. Let's switch back into our mage robes, which you can see I dyed green. I finally realized that you can dye mage robes. That's a camping pan. It's a pan for camping. That's a atomic maneuver hook. It's a slingshot. I mean, not a slingshot, a hook shot, whatever. Bunch of swords. I made Sting. I don't know why I made Sting, but, you know, I have Sting. Here's my Thaumonal Malicious Con, all my stuff, all my research, which got reset when I changed the mod pack over, so I'll need to do all of that again. I am looking forward to that. Hashtag sarcasm, hashtag doing a hashtag in real life, hashtag I'm ashamed of saying hashtag. Let's go up here and see one of my favorite bits of the Enclave, the aura nodes. Oh, look at all these aura nodes spazzing the heck out. That's because the Minima mod that slows down my client to give me good frame rates in these cinematics doesn't slow down everything, so it renders the animations of the aura nodes really quickly. And as you can see, our green-eyed glyph friend is still here. I've given him a sword built out of, I believe, Viroxaries. It's a nether metal that I found. Then over here, you might be thinking, who's this? Well, this is Cypher. Cypher is Glyph's friend. She just showed up one day, kind of like Glyph did. And I decided, heck, why not? She can join the Ender Academy too. So I gave her a Thaumium sword, and nowadays they just kind of stand up here, staring at each other. It's a little bit uncomfortable, the way they just stare at each other all day, never moving. I'm not so sure what's up with these two, but Glyph is a bit more relatable anyway. I don't think Cypher has ever spoken. She just kind of stares at my throat, and it's a little bit creepy. But anyway, these aura nodes provide us with all the Vs we could ever need to power something up here on this precarious pathway. Ignore the room to the right, we'll get to that later. Here is the Osmotic Enchanter. Well, I think it's creepy. Anyway, this is the Osmotic Enchanter, where we use raw Vis from all of our aura nodes down there that you can see through the wall in order to enchant whatever we want. This is our spare wand, which we should actually take down to recharge, but we can do that later. Now let's head down into this room. This is right on top of the library, and this is going to be our printing press room. It's a new room, and there's not much in it yet. I haven't put the shelves on the walls. All I have in here is a printing press, book binder, typesetting table, inkwell, that kind of thing. Currently, the only interesting thing about this room is that it has a bronze ladder leading down into the library, which marks the only ladder currently in use in the entirety of Ender Academy. Everything else is arcane levitators, so that is pretty special. But otherwise, this room is pretty blank. I'm gonna put a lot of shelves up here. Lots of stuff left undone in this here academy of mine. Now, what have we not shown yet? Ah, over there. Let's glide over. Whee! Express elevator. Incredibly inefficient usage of those levitators down there, but I kind of don't care. This is our airship dock. Unfortunately, we don't have an airship, so I have completely neglected to ever work on this airship dock ever again ever since I laid out the beginning plankages. And I don't even remember what episode. I think I did it between episodes at some point in time. It's not important. We haven't finished the airship dock. That's the point. What's really more interesting is if we go through this here pathway underneath this tree, need to duck a little bit, here's where the really interesting stuff is. This is my prized possession, the infusion altar. Now, I haven't worked much on this setup, so it's still kind of dangerous to do a lot of the recipes here, and there aren't pre-set up tanks filled with all the kinds of essentia, yada yada yada. I kind of don't care. I don't do much infusing yet. That will shortly change. But really, I just think that the infusion altar looks cool by itself, and it's the perfect thing to cap off the Ender Academy, in my opinion. Speaking of which, that's another thing that I really like about what we've done here in the Ender Academy is the vertical nature of all this. A lot of people I know like to build on flat areas, all that, because it's easy to set up the geometry, but I, for one, really like the challenge of building in crazy geometry and in crazy landscapes because it forces you to be more creative. I would have never thought of doing all these crazy, weird bridge things had I not found this valley, but when I saw this valley, I instantly just thought, man, we should totes build a frickin' bridge system here, because that's how I talk. I say the word totes. It looks like I need to sleep again. Let's see how it goes this time. Okay, no, what to say next? Distraction. News. Okay, news. Yeah, news about Ender Academy and my channel and stuff. As you can see, I have started making episodes again. They aren't going to be particularly common, but they're going to be a thing because I really like making these episodes. We are going to move forward with haste and with great vigor on all of the projects that we now like to do. The mod pack is continuing to be improved. This is yet another new version of the mod pack, tripping over my words. And it actually turns out that a lot of the major mods have given permissions to be included in mod packs now. So I'm thinking that eventually, not soon, but eventually, I will be able to release the Ender Academy mod pack and the custom resource pack patches that I've built for it to anyone who wants them. So any of you who would want to download Ender Academy would eventually be able to do that once I iron out all of the horrible computer breaking bugs that I am barely able to overcome in order to film these episodes. Yeah, you would not want this Ender Academy on your computer right now in its current state, but eventually I will fix it and it'll be amazing. What other news? I have been incredibly happy today because today marks the first ever day that I beat FTL. That has absolutely nothing to do with Ender Academy, but I thought I'd bring it up. FTL is a famously brutal indie spaceship captain game, I guess, where you captain a spaceship or you're the AI of a spaceship or something and you're trying not to blow up horribly. And today is the first day after 30 tries that I actually defeated the final boss in that game by pure accident. I kept telling myself, man, I am not going to win on this playthrough, but I'll just try my best all the same. And what do you know? I actually won for the first time. And that got me thinking, I actually have a couple of other games installed on my computer that I occasionally play, and I might as well record them if anyone would be interested in seeing that. So, the two games that I currently have installed on my computer are FTL! Its very title betrays a disregard for science. And Don't Starve! I am very good at starving. So if you would be interested in seeing any gameplay footage of that rarely pop up in between my somewhat infrequent episodes of Ender Academy, then just let me know and I will maybe do that. So, without further ado, I have been yours truly, the classy Enderman, Connor Chap. And with me has been Vigil and all the merry gang here at Ender Academy, and this has been Ender Academy. And I am just stalling for time now because I really don't want to be done recording this episode. I love being here again. It's good to be back. And thank you, all of you, for sticking with me. So until next time, from Vigil and I, from the bottom of our blocky, black Ender hearts, I bid all of you, sincerely, adieu. Wow, could you get any more cheesy than that?